My name is Krisha, and I'll be reading out this play by Betty Shami. It's called Tamam. And yeah, my name is Tamam. It means enough. I was called this because my family wanted no more daughters. I'm the last of 7 sisters. Good luck for the family. After me, there were 2 brothers, and now there is only one. Why do we rejoice when a boy is born? Because we from Gaza understand the power of might. The strong make the rules, name the cities, and decide who live in them, or so they think. We know what it means to be weak, to cement a settlement of resentment, brick by brick, in our own ravaged hearts and shell-shocked minds, with every corner littered with bullets, tear gas canisters that say "Made in Pennsylvania" on them. Times like these call for soldiers. The one we have had fallen. A birth of a girl is different from a boy. A girl is a gift that's too precious. A reminder that soft things don't last long in our world. Parents here fool themselves thinking a boy child has at least almost a fighting chance. I want to talk about something smaller than me that became bigger. I want to talk about my brother. Don't believe the stories you have heard. I was far more religious than he, and I have never had the heart to wake him to pray. He was hoping to study medicine in Iraq while building Israel settlements in Gaza so we could eat. I let him sleep through the call. He was caught with a rock in his hand and a curse on his lips. I went to jail to visit my brother. Most of my people looked at the Israeli guards with every ounce of hatred a human heart can hold. Their faces twisted like they had tasted something bitter, like something bitter was forced down their throats. I was smarter than that. I knew I must navigate through the maze of might and did my best to be kindly, polite, hoping perhaps that I would remind them of a Rachel or a Sarah or a Ruth that they knew or would have liked to know. So when they beat my brother, that thing that started out smaller than me and got bigger, they would lighten their touch. I'm a pretty woman. It's not a compliment. It's not a boast. It's a fact. Looks are a commodity, an asset, a possession I happen to possess. It's why my grandmother said no when my sister's brother in law asked for my hand. The family that was good enough for my plain sister wasn't good enough for me. I'm a pretty woman. It's not a boast, it's a fact. And I smiled my best smile when the soldiers opened the gate for me. Weighed down with a basket of food, I bought extra, hoping to create the illusion that that dirty jail was one place where there was enough and extra for all the guards to eat twice. Otherwise, my brother would get none unless there was enough and extra. They thanked me for the food. They raped me in front of him, forcing my brother's eyes open so he had to watch. They wanted to know something that he preferred not to tell them. They skewered the support for their argument into my flesh. I'm told that their torture specialists who study the Arab mind realized rape would enrage a man. Enraging a man is the first step on the stairway that gets him to a place where he becomes impotent, helpless. They not only refer to us as cockroaches, they examine us, experiment upon us, as if we were that predictable, that much the same, that easy to eradicate. Their studies show that Arab men value the virtue of their women folk. Their studies show something within me was supposed to be inviolate. Say what you want about Arab men and women and how we love one another. There is one thing for certain. There are real repercussions for hurting a woman in my society. There are repercussions. When the first hand was laid upon me, we both screamed. The evolutionary function of a scream is a cry for help. They tied down, the only one who could, so I silenced myself. That was the only way to tell my brother I didn't want to tell. I flinched when I had to, but I kept my breathing regular. My brother tried to look every other way, but realized I needed him to look me in the eye and understand. They thought making us face one another in our misery would break us. But we were used to misery. It's like anything else, you can build up a tolerance for it. Someone else told them what they wanted to know, so they released my brother 2 weeks later. That's when he built something more intricate than the human heart, hugged it to his chest, and boarded a bus that was going nowhere and everywhere. The day he did it, he told me over breakfast, oppression is like a coin maker. You put in human beings, press the right buttons, and watch them get squeezed, shrunk, flattened, till they take the slim shape of a two-faced coin. One side is a martyr, the other a traitor. All the possibilities of a life get reduced to those paltry two. The coin is tossed in the air. It spins once for circumstance, twice for luck, and third time for predilection before it lands flat. The face that points down towards hell determines not only who you are, but who you will become that way. What he was really saying was goodbye. Had I known, I would have said something more than, it's interesting you think oppression makes us turn into a form of money, a currency. How odd. Listen, I don't agree killing innocent people under any circumstances ever. The irony is, there were Palestinians who were Israeli citizens on that bus too. My brother wasn't counting on that. No one was counting on that. I want to feel sorrow when anyone is suffering, no matter who they are and what their people have done to mine. No one's life should be snuffed out. I'm the kind of human being who refuses to get high on the drug of hate. In my opinion, that's the only kind of human being there is. In other words, no one is going to reduce me to a coin. There are absolutes. It's wrong to kill, period. And since the Israelis have killed 5 times the number of my people as we have killed theirs, I think there are 5 times as wrong. It's hard to feel sad for them sometimes, but I swear to you that I try my best, but it's not easy. They complain they can't go to the pizza parlor while they bomb us in our homes. I should have known what my brother was bound to do. I could have stopped him. I said every time he went out to face their guns with the rock, don't go. Let's achieve peace by peaceful means. Let's use non-violence. Don't be a pawn. What kind of a fool would face a gun with a rock? Let others risk their life. They can never truly win. They could kill every Palestinian and the wind will howl our names and the rock will rise up and throw themselves. I'd always say, don't go. What I didn't say? You're the most precious thing in the world to me. The fact that you exist makes the earth spin on its axis. It's rolling for joy because you are there. The sun shows up to see you, and the moon chases the sun off to be in your sky. And none of them love you like I do, brother. Not even close. This is no goal, no political means worth wrenching your life from mine. If Palestine is utopia, Palestine is already here, Palestine is my brother, being my own side and screaming for joy when I have my firstborn and living long and laughing loud with me over hot tea and warm bread each morning, which is all we can afford, but if you're by my side, it's enough. If you think this is a gift for me, the box will be empty, brother. How can it not be? Everything will be empty if you're not here. Don't hurt yourself and others in my name or for my sake. I will not forgive you if you leave me. I will not be comforted. I will not be. Instead, I said, don't go. And I didn't say it loud. They bulldozed our house because you blew up that bus. In all this, I didn't realize what true fear, true dread was till I watched our younger brother watching them destroy our home, witnessing each swoop and scoop with more anger in his eyes than I had ever seen in yours. I was engaged to be married to the love of my life and the richest man in Gaza. My father went to his house and told his father what had happened to me. He didn't want scandal if we went ahead and married, and it was found I was not as I was before. My love left me because of his father's insistence. His mother, who never liked me anyway, took him and married him to a girl from her town. He moved to London with her, and I haven't seen him since. I tried to convince myself that I wouldn't want to be married to a man who could ever betray me. I tried to convince myself I am better off without him. Try is the operative word. His cowardice was a violence that hurts and haunts me more than the guards did to me, because I have no one to blame but my own people, which is as hard to do as blaming yourself. I married my sister's brother in law, who was made aware that I was not as I was before. My youngest brother went to Iraq the week before my first child was born. He went to study engineering. I'm worried about him. Our friends there say he disappears for months at a time. He never tells me where he goes or when he'll return. I'm worried about him. My husband and I understand each other, which is not exactly a good thing. My husband never lets me live it down that my family once rejected him. He calls me a whore when he is angry and a stuck up when he's not. He gets angry often, especially when I tell him he's worthless and not a man when he can't find enough food. It's the only way to make him steal it. Like I said before, we understand one another. I think of my first lover who deserted me. Every day I visualize a new way I tell him what a traitor he was to leave me. In case I happen to ever see him again, it makes me sad that though he wronged me in more ways than one, he'll only have ears to listen to the first words I say. You only get one chance to tell people they are wrong. You get that chance because it takes people a minute or two to realize you are telling them stuff they don't want to hear. Then they shut you out. Though they might be still standing before you, smiling. They make sure the door between the ear and the heart is locked, and they forever take away your key. Because they know if they keep listening, they might not change, but it'll be a little harder to stay the same. If I saw him today, I would tell him, "You should have married me. I was still a virgin. Even after what the Israeli soldiers did to me, I was still a virgin. Because I don't consider the men who rape me human. And if you had any inkling of what a true man was or how to be one, neither would you." My name is Tamam. It means enough.